Today we are showing the first look of my dream wardrobe. In my last video, I shared my vision boards with you guys and talked about everything that I want to make this year. So today we're going to sew this look, which I'm really excited about. And this is the fabric. I feel like in the photo I used in my vision board, it was really small, so you couldn't really see it, but it's this beautiful striped fabric, this really pretty light charcoal with like light blue. Ugh, it's stunning. And I can't believe that I thrifted this. I think I paid around $6.99 and I think I have around 3 yards of fabric, which is really good. It's like the perfect amount for a set. Also, I have to share this top that I'm wearing. I upcycled it yesterday into this keyhole top. It had like a pretty high neckline and then I changed it into this. I'm just really obsessed with keyhole tops. I like want a bunch of them. So this is my first one of the year and it's like the first time that I'm wearing it. So I want to show you my new top. So this is going to be my first time vlogging myself sewing. I've never done that before. So we're going to see how this goes because I've never like gone out of the flow of sewing to stop to then talk to the camera. So we're just going to see how this goes, but I want it to be an easy watch for you because I know that our time is valuable and we're all multitasking, probably doing multiple things. So I just want it to be really easy, but it's a beautiful Sunday today. So we're going to see how much I can get done today. So yeah, let's just go. So this is the mock-up for the top that I want to make. I finished this yesterday and I really love how it turned out. This is the vintage pattern that I use and I shared this with you guys last week. I made option D and I think it's so pretty. I didn't really have to make that many adjustments and I really love the buttons that I chose. It's like these pearly buttons. But I think instead of making this one, I'm going to make option E. I realized that this reminds me a lot of the Reformation top that I wear a lot that I also replicated in the gingham. So I feel like I have already like a lot of tops that are cut like this. So I want to make E where it has like the pointed cups like this, just something different. And I think it'll look really nice in the stripe too. And I could see myself wearing it with dark denim, like these jeans or with white pants. I think it'll look really pretty. But luckily, E uses the same pieces as this one. It's just the front pieces that are different. So because I know it fits, I don't have to make any new adjustments. I can just kind of cut and sew and hopefully get in a flow state. Also, because it was a vintage pattern, I've heard that with vintage patterns, they don't always include every single sewing step because they're made assuming that the person making them has the basic sewing skills. That was definitely true with this. There were a few steps that they didn't include where they kind of like combine multiple steps in one but don't really separate them. They just assume you know like the whole process for one step. So luckily, because I have enough sewing experience and my basics down, I could figure it out, or else I would have been totally lost with that pattern. So I was trying to experiment here with different camera angles and camera shots. So I put my phone up pretty high and I wanted to do a very cinematic shot of laying the fabric onto the table, but it wasn't really working out the way I wanted. And because I was by the window, the sun was turning the blue into this like washed out gray color. So I just decided to scratch that idea. I have been so excited for the Nikki pants since the pattern maker released the pattern. I think they're just the perfect pants and exactly like my Pinterest inspo. Cutting the pattern pieces out did take a little bit of time since I was working with the patterned fabric, so I just wanted to be very precise with where I laid my pattern pieces so all the stripes would line up. So I cut out the pants in a size medium. I'm technically in between sizes. I'm between a small and a medium, but I just wanted to have a little bit more room, so I went with a medium. And also because I want them to be more mid to low rise, I figured they would fit a little bit lower on me if I made them in a medium. As I'm editing this, I'm wondering if I should get that tripod that you can do overhead shots with because this angle looks pretty good. So here is how everything looks cut out. It's honestly a lot of fabric and a lot of pieces, and I still have about 1.5 yards left of that fabric, so I'm trying to think what else I could make with it because it's so pretty. So the first day was mostly all prep work. It was just cutting out my pattern pieces, and then here I am overlocking the edges of the pants. Because it was such a nice day, I decided to set up my sewing machine on my kitchen table, and then I opened the window behind me so I could feel the breeze. And as I was doing all of my prep work, I was listening to this coffee house mix on YouTube. And so just sewing downstairs with the window down, feeling the breeze, blasting this set, it was like such a good day. So I have a progress update. I cut out my pattern, cut out my fabric pieces, ironed, did all of like the prep work that you need. And so I finally started putting things together. So here are how the pants are looking. This is the back piece. So cute. Look at those stripes. I love it. And then this is the front. I kind of have a design question, so I'm gonna have to clip it here. I hope it doesn't get all fuzzy. So this is the front of the pants. Let me go get a stool. Okay, and in case you're wondering why I have to stand on a stool, so I film on my phone, so I don't have a camera with a wide lens or anything, so there's nowhere really for me to go, and my room doesn't go back that far. Like, this is my closet, so there really isn't anywhere for me to go. So that's why I have to stand on a stool. So this is the front of the pants, and I pinned like the yoke piece. I didn't sew it yet because I know that I need to take a little bit off. So I just kind of want to talk about it with you. Here's the front. So right here is the crotch area. Like, I just try and kind of like line it up where I think it would fall like normally. This has a 1 centimeter seam allowance right here. And then I watched her video, and this also has a 1 centimeter seam allowance when you sew the two yoke pieces together, like after you've attached your side zip. So this is kind of where the pants will fall. And I prefer like more mid to low rise, leaning more low rise. So my belly button is like right here. So it's just under my belly button. So what I think I'm gonna do is trim off a centimeter at the top. So then when I fold it over, and I'm kind of just eyeballing this, so then it's like 2 centimeters, more like this, I think. That would be much better. So it's the next day now, and sewing the pants together was fairly easy. There is a video tutorial and written instructions, which are pretty straightforward. I would say the trickiest part of sewing the pants is always installing the zipper, but that's only because I have an older brother machine. I have the XL 2600i, so one thing my machine can't do is shift the needle over, so I have to use different zipper foots for each side of the zipper, so one for the left and then a totally different one for the right. So every time that I'm installing the zipper, I always try and go as slow as possible so I don't accidentally sew over the zipper teeth. And who knows, maybe one day I'll upgrade my machine and I won't have to do this anymore, but at this point I was getting really excited about how my pants were coming out. I was actually getting really excited about my whole outfit and how everything was coming together like I hoped. So let me show you how the top is looking so far. I've sewn all the pieces together, and let me just do kind of like a try on for you. So you would put it on like this, and then you would button it at the front. I don't want my mic to get all fuzzy, but basically it would be like this. And then this is the mock-up, just so you can see. I really hope that the bust works out the way I hope. Sometimes like being smaller chested, you don't like fill out things as good. So I hope that it works out. There's not like too much of a gap. This is the lining piece. I had a leftover bedsheet that I thrifted, I think when I first started sewing, because I thought it looked kind of like denim. You can kind of see it, but I thought this worked really nice for the lining. Like, it's almost an exact color match. I didn't want to use this fabric for lining as well because I wanted to make something else with it. So I thought that would be kind of wasteful. So luckily I had this, but then I want to show you all the buttons that I had to go through to figure out what would look best, because black buttons would be too dark, white buttons are too light, and it's like too big of a contrast. So I found like the perfect purpley bluish buttons to go perfect with this. I actually just like took them off like a previous top. But so yeah, I'm gonna show you that. I'm sorry, this is so shaky. I'm holding my phone in my hands, but I wanted to show you all my button options. So this is like a pearly button, and then this is a blue button that I thought I was gonna go with, and then this is another white button with some ridges at the top, and then this is a black button, and you can see there's like a big contrast. But I ended up going with this purpley blue button, and these are all buttons that I thrifted and that I cut off of shirts. And my only concern with this purpley blue one is that there was only 5 on the shirt, and my mock-up had 6, so I was just needing to plan out the spacing of each button when I sewed the bottom seam allowance, just to make sure that it lined up nicely and there weren't any weird gaps if I like hunched over. Also, I was hoping that it would look nice because it's only 5 and the button was pretty small, but you can see here in my mock-up that there's 6 here, and it just looks really nice and clean. Remember how my original plan was to make the square neck like my mock-up? Well, I decided to make the other option, and as I was editing and seeing this footage back, I realized that I don't like the top at all. And this is in slow-mo, so I could talk a bunch, and as I was editing, I realized that there's some fit problems that I don't like, and I didn't feel this way in person. I actually thought I liked it in person, but it just doesn't fit me right. And the first thing I noticed is that fabric that's kind of splitting apart on top of the first button. I thought that was like how the fit is, but no, it just does not fit me correctly. I also messed around with the seam allowance and tried to make it a little more snug, and maybe that is the cause. And because of that, placket facing is super skinny. It was not an inch like my mock-up, and I just think it looks really weird. I guess it doesn't look weird, it just doesn't look right. And also, I didn't have an exact color match for the thread. I used this like light blue turquoisey color, which I thought looked fine in person and that it wouldn't really be that noticeable, but seeing this on camera, it's actually very noticeable. And so literally after watching this, I stopped editing and went to Michael's. So I'm just trying to find the best color match, and maybe some of you watching are thinking that the top looks totally fine and this is kind of a lot, that. But if I'm going to spend the time making something, I want it to fit me perfect. And I know that not every project comes out perfect, and I think there's those times where it's trial and error and you're just making mock-ups to get it right. But I did not want this to be a mock-up. I had a vision for how I wanted this to fit and how I wanted it to look, and I should have stuck to my gut and just gone with my original plan instead of changing it last minute. And this is my cat being a cat. So that's sewing for you. Sometimes things don't go according to plan and there's some bumps in the road, and it's actually going to take a little bit longer to complete your project, but I rather it take a little bit longer and it be right than try and rush it and it not turn out the way I wanted, and then I don't even actually wear it, and that would be a total waste. Was I upset that this was going to delay my project? Yes. Was I also upset that it was also going to delay when I put this video out? Yes, because I'm really trying to take YouTube seriously and I'm trying to hold myself accountable and set a time limit for myself for each video that goes out. And so I was really concerned that maybe the algorithm would punish me, or that people would think I disappeared, or that I'm being inconsistent, but I just really wanted to get this right. And I just can't put something out that I'm not proud of and that I don't feel good in. And I don't have a very good poker face. And even though I'm smiling and I may say that I like something, you can tell that I don't. And so I just had to spend the time to fix this. It took about a day because cutting always takes forever. And because I'm working with stripes, I wanted to make sure everything was lined up nicely, so everything was cohesive. But I'm really glad that I took the time to fix it and make exactly what I want. And it just proves that sometimes your first idea and was the right one, and that's what you should stick to and that's what you should go with. And I just have to trust myself a little more. And also just trust my ideas. And there's nothing wrong with making changes, but I shouldn't be making a fit change last minute when I haven't tested it out. So if I am going to change anything for any upcoming projects, I'm definitely going to test it out so I don't run into this problem next time and this doesn't delay everything. Also, everything looks different in horizontal. I film a lot for TikTok and Instagram and things just look different vertical, but when I'm watching footage back, I'm actually noticing flaws. But here you can see the top just looks so much better and it just looks so clean, and I'm really happy with it. I am officially done with my outfit and I have a whole new setup, very different from the beginning of the video. So when I was editing, I was realizing that the green curtains that I have, which I made and I love, but they actually made my room look really green because I have these light green walls, and it's just funny how things look very different from in person to on camera, and I thought, no, never mind, this doesn't look good. So I put them on my window and I just decided to rearrange my whole room, and I just think my room looks so much bigger and more inviting, and I put my bed in a position that I never thought to put it in. And looking back, I'm like, why did I pick this spot? This is not good. But I just really love how my room looks, and I love that my bed is right by the window. It's so nice. I can feel the breeze when I'm in bed. So remember how in my intro I said that I didn't want to make this top because I already have a lot of tops that kind of look like this, and I recreated one of my favorite Reformation tops, and I just thought that I didn't want to have too many tops of the same, so I wanted to do something different. No, I was wrong, because when I was editing and I saw myself in the white top, I thought, wow, that looks really nice on me and that fits me really well. Like, what was I thinking? Just because you have the same silhouette in different colors doesn't mean that's bad. That's the whole point, is we love finding things that look the best on us. And if it looks really good, it's fine to have it in multiple colors. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my original idea. What was I thinking? And also, this isn't exactly like my other one. This one has buttons, so it's different. And I don't have one in a blue stripe. So I'm just so glad that I listened to my gut and I made the top that I wanted, and that it looks so good. Looking back at my footage in slow-mo, like the set looks totally different. Don't you agree? So we're back on the stool because I need to show you these pants. So I love them. I love them. I love them. They're so cool. She is so good. I love her patterns. So remember how I was showing you how I took a little bit off the top because I wanted it to be more mid to low rise? But actually, the next time that I make these, I also need to take a little bit off the top of the pants. So if you look closely, it kind of bunches up here, but I personally don't think it looks bad, and it doesn't bother me enough to take the pants apart, fix that, and then sew them again. Like, it's fine. It's probably a centimeter, honestly. But I really love my pants. Oh my god, I love this set. I love it so much. I'm just so glad that I listened to my instinct because there was a little moment where I was like, no, I shouldn't. No, it's fine. I'll fix it later. And I'm like, no, fix it now because you want to wear it now. And so I'm just so glad that I listened to that voice. And also, I just want to feel good in what I'm wearing and like what I'm wearing because we love clothes that fit. Duh. Also, at the start of the video, I said that it was Sunday, but I lost track of the days. I want to say this took maybe like a week and 2 days to finish. And also, when I've been sewing 6 to like 8-ish hours, I call it a day because I'm not as focused. But it's so funny looking back, I thought that I could finish this in 2 or 3 days, and maybe I could have if I would have stuck to my original plan. I don't know, but yeah, that did not happen. If you're still here, I hope that you liked this video and you found it entertaining. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. And if you can, hype this video up. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.